Yes.
Great. We got Jeff in here.
Test.
You sound great, Jeff.
Thank you, sir.
Get this music out of your way so you can
feel
hear
great.
yourself.
So, feel great, Dan.
You're jacketing today, I saw.
Yeah, well, I had to step it up, you know.
I like it.
He upped the jacket game.
Yeah,
so.
He did up the jacket game.
So.
And you're one of our guests that I will say, is that arm being weird?
Yeah.
Go way high. Keep going. Higher, and then gently bring it down. And is it not doing it? You know what? I'm going to buy a new one this weekend. There we go.
No, I just sit up here now.
There we go.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that works for me. All right. That works for me.
There is a way to fix it, which is interesting. We found online. Actually, our IT guy, SJ, in the chat room, he found it. It's a little shim of plastic that you cut out of like a Coke can.
Yeah?
Like this kid figured out how to do it.
Cut out a piece of plastic from a Coke can.
Well, like a Coke bottle. I mean, like a plastic, a Coke bottle. I'm frazzled. And you
trying
cut
to follow.
You cut this little strip out, and then you undo that joint, that center joint. Yep,
and
that guy right there.
And you screw it tight.
And you lay it over the top, and the little bit of thickness from the thin plastic catches on. There's a little rubber piece in here, and it lays inside. There's little grooves, and it just lays inside of it. It tightens it up.
Okay. Perfect.
But it took like some kid, and God bless the teenagers on YouTube that fix everything in my home. It's never an old man. It's usually some
YouTube certified.
Yeah, like some kid say, "Hey man, you want to learn how to use it?" And it's like, "Oh my God, you're 16 and I'm 49," and I'm like, "Let me write this down." You know. All right, that sounds good. Everybody looks good. All right, you want to start, Mr. Van?
Sure.
Here we
And
go.
wait, just to make sure,
Please.
When you guys are, since you're recording this and we play it later, there's not any like streaming or anybody talking to you guys right now.
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
yeah,
we
yeah.
got a
We're
chat
live
room.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
should have
yeah.
told you. Sorry, we're live on YouTube.
There's a lot of complications going on, Jason. Sorry.
Yeah.
So technically, we're live right now on
hey.
Twitch and YouTube Live. So they're hearing us right now. Everything's on. So that we air that, but we'll record the show.
I blame me on this because I came in and I frazzled myself. Because normally I'm sitting here like a little toadstool man, and I never leave my post. And then when you guys come in, I'm able to give you the actual spiel.
So this will technically air on terrestrial radio tomorrow, starting at 7.
Yes.
But it'll also be released simultaneously on podcast.
Yes.
On demand
Same
when
time.
it gets released
Yes.
tomorrow at 7. So
But
that's
you're
when the
live right now.
majority of people hear it tomorrow, but there are, a lot of people watching live.
So there's hundreds watching now, but the majority is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
And
then
then
they'll go.
we did a great job.
They'll
It's a lot better than you say. Both of them are watching now.
But then,
My mom and my cousin are watching now.
so then, but they're really,
my mom
but they'll
just
buy
dropped out.
tickets.
Here's my cousin now.
Both of them are watching now. But family comes
The
tomorrow.
dog is listening.
And the cousin just left it on streaming, and she's out.
Yeah,
she's
she
in the
went
kitchen.
shopping. It's just gone.
It's funny that Jeff says that, but as an aside warm up, that was a known way in old radio to circumvent the personal people meter, because it does have a what do you call that? Not a haptic, a whatever that is in there to make sure it's a real human. You would put it on your dog. And you would turn every radio in your house to whatever radio station you wanted to boost the ratings for, and you would let your dog be a person
Be
for the
the
day.
audience.
Oh, wow.
That's the way they used to scam around it.
Because it has to move for
It
it to
has
be
to move.
activated.
And
Or you put it on a watch winder.
Well, that's confirmed. Yeah.
That happened.
There were guys that would put them. You'd just take the watch winding case, open it up. Where the watch goes, you dig out the foam, put the personal people meter in, shut it, and that thing would just turn.
Oh, wow.
And it would think that.
By the way, I'll do this right now
Oh,
if
yeah,
you
I
have
would,
one
yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
That's actually a violation to even talk about.
Yeah.
But no, it's not.
Yeah, but we're not on anything.
What does that
Yeah.
mean?
I'm very big with the dog crowd.
It's funny that Jeff knows that.
Pomeranians love me.
Are you a little dog guy?
Yeah.
I'm a little dog guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love my little West Highland Terrier. All right. Good warm up. T, you ready?
Yep.
Here we go. 3, 2.
Welcome to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We're live on Twitch. We're live on YouTube. You're definitely going to want to come over to the chat room, to the channel, and check everything out. We have a very special guest. I will let you introduce him momentarily, but
Yep.
it would do us a big favor if you go over and like and subscribe our YouTube channel. We have great stuff on there that Melissa's been putting together, great live streams that we do every single day, Monday through Friday, and I just want to boost that in 2026. So come on over at Tom and Dan Live.
So Science Night Live is this weekend, and we've been telling you guys about it. Great date night for Valentine's Day.
Yes.
And you should get tickets now because it looks like it could sell out.
Yeah.
And you can get your tickets at osc.org. It's the Orlando Science Center. The Science Night Live is after hours for adults only. There's drinks. There's small snacks.
Yeah, interactive stuff that you can do. There's, games and, all kinds of appearances by people, and they're showing you things and learning you things.
Well, speaking of appearances,
Yeah.
at Science Night Live from Impossible Science Live, Jason Latimer is here. How you doing, Jason?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
So
Appreciate you being here, man.
now, so Jeff, real quick,
Yes.
before we talk to Jason, Science Night Live,
Yes.
you should get your tickets now if you want to guarantee.
If you want to
that date night.
guaranteed to get in, I would go to osc.org. Buy those tickets now. They're selling fast. It's poised for a
Well,
sellout.
you've put everything into it, Jeff. I mean, not to sing your praises for a second, because we'll sing our guest praises for a second, too, because we have a special guest that I love having in. Dare I say, too, one of our most attractive guests.
That's true. Yeah,
He
yeah.
is. He is one.
Well,
And I know.
And, yeah, I am, not dog food either.
You're not. You know what? And I
You know
didn't mean to
what?
make you feel that way.
Yes.
You know what? I deserve that.
Yeah.
I am consistently.
You know what? I apologize, Jeff. I apologize. You know what? And I had to say that in the middle of introducing Jeff. I'm like, let's talk to Jeff, but first let's talk to our very attractive. You know what? I am very sorry, Jeff.
Oh no worries. We're all friends here.
But yeah, get those tickets now. Jeff and his team have been throwing everything that I could ever think to throw at a Valentine's Day, like a deal. Like this has.
If you're a member too, Jeff, how much is
Yeah,
it?
if you're a member, you're getting in for $5. If you're
Yeah.
a member of the Science Center,
Insane.
you get this for $5. If you're just general audience, it's $25.
Right.
But even $25 a person is a deal for what we are offering you for Saturday night. for
Have you
Science
bought
Night Live.
anything recently? $25. You're undercharging,
Yeah.
Jeff, but it doesn't matter. We want to pack this thing out.
Yeah.
And it will be packed, and it'll be a great event
Here's the
because you
get a
guys
mem-
do a good job.
Get a
Thank you.
membership so you can get those $5 tickets, and then you get to enjoy the Science Center all year long.
All year
and
long.
other Science Night Lives that will be $5. Anyway, it's a
Yeah,
great
because
deal.
this event is awesome. Science Night Live, we do about 3-4 times a year. It's our adult night where we open up the Science Center in the evening, only to adults. What makes this one special, not just because it's Valentine's Day, but also Spark STEM Fest is this weekend.
Yes,
it's
sir.
the biggest event of the year we do at Orlando Science Center. It's running Saturday, Sunday, Monday for all ages during the day. Amazing shows, mind-blowing demonstrations, great partners. But Science Night Live, very special event. And the gentleman that we're with, Jason, is going to be at both Spark STEM Fest and Science Night Live, and you don't want to miss it.
Yep.
Awesome. So, Jason, we were talking before we started the show. You just got back from Hawaii because Impossible Science has blown up since the last time you've been on the show. And, there's shows all over the country. You're flying around all over.
Yeah.
So, it's rough, the time difference from Hawaii back here now.
Yeah, I
They're
went.
crazy.
I went Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
Stopped in Los Angeles, Corpus Christi. Stopped in Los Angeles, Hawaii. Stopped in Los Angeles. Then here, and every one of those stops was under 30 hours.
That's tight, man. Oh, my God.
And why the winter storms were happening, right?
I hit them all. I hit the blizzard. I hit the ice storm. I hit the winter storm in Oahu. And
Wow.
And now I'm here. So if the weather gets really bad here, it's me.
No, I think you know what? I think you actually brought really good weather. Like it's
good.
looking like the
Yeah.
weather we're gonna have here is gonna be pretty great.
But last week, flying in that mess must have been horrible, right?
Yeah, that's a magic trick in itself.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah. And then, just generally being around, if you've ever been in an airport where all of a sudden they have to cancel all flights because of some blizzard, and then everybody there are immediately miserable, and then it's sad because you're because it's not good for everybody, and then they're complaining, but they know they're what am I supposed to do? Is a blizzard? They're doing this for my own safety.
Yeah, I put
but
it
you're
up
so
there.
mad.
I put it
yeah.
up there with being stuck in a parking garage after your team loses.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like that feeling of when you're in the parking garage and you can't get out and you know your team lost and you just sat for 2 hours watching the Magic lose, and now you're trapped in a parking garage and for no reason you're gonna have to sit there and just marinate in your loss.
You're yelling at the Southwest person that works behind the counter, and then she's like, "Do you want to fly and die in this?" And you're like, "Yes, I do," because that's how miserable I am. Anyway, so
I've never seen a snowstorm like I saw in Columbus. That was another level. And the worst part about it is every time I checked into the airport hoping to leave, over 3 days, by the way, I was stuck there. I had to check everything back out and I'm traveling with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds of equipment. So every time I check in the luggage and then they cancel the flight, I got to take it all back and figure out where to put it.
Oh,
my
that's
God.
horrible.
So you're glad Tom brought this up. Okay.
Yeah, I'm still having nightmares about it.
It just shows that Jason's a grinder and he's out there traveling. He's just showing the world science, and sometimes that traveling is rough, especially during winter storms.
But Orlando is totally different because I didn't bring the gear just on the plane. I literally sent a half a ton of equipment via crate here. So we're bringing big illusions this time.
Yeah.
Last year was like my TSA surprise show. It's a surprise what I brought on plane.
You get stopped a lot because you bring weird stuff.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. I've been called. So my phone number is on all of my luggage. And funny story, I get a phone call while I'm in the lounge, and I didn't know the number. I decided to get rid of it. Ignore it.
Yeah, just ignore it.
And calls again, get a little suspicious, still ignore it. Get a text message from it, and it's like, "Hi, my name's like Ryan from the bomb squad on on this airline. Could you please call us?" And I call him back and goes, "Mr. Latimer, are you traveling at this terminal in this plane?" And I said, "Yes." And he goes, "I think I'm staring at your laser trick."
It
Also,
puts
by
up
the
some
way,
red
all you had
flags.
to say was all you had to do was reply to the bomb squad, and then he felt better. You know what I mean? Like seriously, because Jason isn't gonna go blowing things up.
Well,
or maybe.
No, well, in my luggage, everything is laid out, including advertisements of the show that I'm going to.
So that they know.
So you can see my
Smart,
name,
man.
my equipment, a picture of what it does,
Smart.
and a phone number. And so,
Which, by the way, I would do this if I was a terrorist. To try to trick them. So
This is the bomb. He goes in the building.
well, the funny thing is, to their credit, they actually couldn't get a hold of me, so they immediately started researching everything they found in the case. So they found the video of the illusion that they were looking at, and
Online,
so when I
That's
called them back,
hilarious.
they're like, "I think I'm looking at your laser illusion," and I'm like, "Yes, you are." and then they were just like, "Is there? We want to make sure you make it to your flight. We want to make sure that everything gets on the plane. Is there anything you want to tell us before we hang up right now? Is there anything else that would be suspicious?" And I'm like, "Well, the next case is probably the T-shirt cannon." And he's like, "T-shirt cannon? How do we miss a T-shirt?"
Yeah, it makes her feel bad. Yeah.
they're like, you know how much stuff goes through? We can't get it all. So don't
we
tell
missed the
anybody.
glitter bomb. A bomb. Yeah, that's the first one you should have got.
Yeah, but I honestly I don't mind being stopped because that means they're doing their job.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like
Sure.
that's the comfort behind it. So like if they want to call me, feel free, give me a call. And probably only when I'm traveling though.
Yeah. Are you constantly?
How you doing today, Jason?
Are you constantly working on illusions like forever? Like, are you locked to it? And how many do you have? Because I always think of this.
Man.
How many do you have just stored that are like 70%?
Okay, so I'm a very obsessive individual. So I obsess over one illusion for a long period of time. I tend to iterate illusions based on it could be better. And
Gotcha.
And so I don't necessarily even know how many magic illusions I have. I have about an 8,000 square foot warehouse that's just
That was my next question.
just
Where do you
filled
put them
with
all?
yeah, my bedroom.
Yeah,
No.
They're just laying around everywhere.
They're just furniture.
It is funny to think that you walk into his house and there's like a couple on the dining room.
Hey, it
There's
starts
one-
off that way.
Really?
It happens. It starts off that everybody's
Cool.
a starving artist in the beginning, but there'll be like one illusion on the chopping block for a long period of time until I get that thing iterated, and then the idea is put it in the show, and just let it go, and learn from it. Write down 10 things that could be better about it, and I don't try to fix the one I have. I just wait till I have that list of 10, and then I make that one. The next version is that much better.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah,
So
so
you
I
even
get
have
two sets of them.
You even have a guideline. It's almost like you have a bucket to fill before you make the change to make it worthy enough of a change.
It
That's smart.
comes from an experience of spending a lot of money over a long period of time trying to make something perfect. When you realize it's never going to be perfect.
Right.
Let's just make it as close to 95%.
How do you know when to disconnect, or is that the hardest part?
I don't think I've ever stopped. I have many iterations. Like the laser illusion that I do here, which is one of my traveling versions, is where I pick up a beam of light, I bend sections of it, I break sections of it, spin it around like a giant staff. You got to see it. It's like Star Wars in real life.
Yep. Yeah.
That I'm on my sixth version of that, and I have different ones that do different things. Some of them I can run up the beam. Some of them I can do a pull-up on the beam. This one is built for speed. It's like 2 Iron Man suitcases that unfold and connect to each other, and it becomes a 4 foot by 8 foot by 2 foot prop. So it's like it. So and then it folds back into itself, and the outside of the case is actually the inside of the case is the outside of the prop. So and that way I save weight.
Is that something that, not to geek out on magic with you, but
That's
we
okay.
do this
That's-
with every person connected to magic that comes in here, you and I like, and then I start going into like, I ask 1,000 questions. Is that efficiency always sort of paramount because you know you're going to have to take these things other places? Is that always built in?
Well, it comes with experience because when I was younger, I joke around it was my heavy metal phase. Like I used to build everything out of steel. I used to create these really large illusions with no intention of moving them, and then you find out how often you have to travel. And then you start thinking like, all right, well, would it be worth it to not be able to travel with this, or could it do a little bit less but travel a lot faster?
Yeah.
And then it comes down to space. Like this illusion that I brought here, the laser illusion I brought here, is specifically designed to fit in the back of an SUV. And so like when I get picked up at the airport, I don't need a special vehicle. I just need, well, I guess I need an Escalator or a Suburban. It's designed to fit between the 48 inches of the wheel wells.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So let's talk just the base.
Totally nerd. Total nerd.
No,
by the way.
but our guys like this kind of stuff.
Hey, you never think about the logistics of this stuff.
I love that sort of stuff because, like, almost like, again, if you can't move it, then what do you even have? Because the whole point is to take it to
the greatest backyard show ever.
You got to take it to Hawaii, and Hawaii is far away. You know.
I'm about to ask you a long, confusing question that has no answer.
We call these Corollas. He's about to give you a Corolla. We had Adam Carolla on last week, and we literally blew it. We flushed our head in the proverbial interview toilet on that one.
I'm just gonna talk it out with you, Jason.
Talk it out with Jason. He's your buddy.
Because we've
He's
talked to
your
you
friend in
before.
STEM.
But the relationship between science and magic is always been there because there's always some human psychology mixed in with like chemistry and the way your brain works and why where you can do real science but it looks like an illusion but it's actually just science, and then the way humans look at things that are happening and I can't understand this, so it must be magic, but there's reality behind it. And I love it, even with let's say human achievement or what David Blaine does, where he's like, oh, I realize that with practice and putting my body through cold or whatever, I can stay in a block of ice for days, or I cannot eat anything or hold my breath if I breathe in pure oxygen for 15 minutes. And it seems like a trick, but it's really just me training. And then with enough training, you can make something look like a magic trick, but it's just I'm really holding my breath because I breathe in pure oxygen. I can do that, and that's what humans can do. So how much of that do you get inspired by with coming up with new magic tricks? Like you see some sort of science that maybe even new technology, and you're like, oh, I can incorporate this into a future impossible science.
First off, that last part happens all the time. I'm always on the hunt for something that somebody may not know or may not notice, like whether you go to CES to find a new technology or a science principle that not many people have heard of. But when it comes down to the whole science versus magic concept, so the show this upcoming weekend, even though it's all about how the right question changes everything, I discuss how science isn't there to tell us what can and can't happen. Science is there to tell us what is likely versus less likely given what we've learned so far.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So we said
yeah.
flight was impossible, and then someone asked questions, and we learned about lift, and then we thought about putting a motor with lift and had suspended flight, and now flight is possible for everybody.
So you're leaving some space.
Well, the idea is how do you know what can't happen? How does anybody know what's not possible? Everything we've ever learned came from us. So how do we know there's not some cheat code that says after 1,001 times of jumping on 1 foot, you fly away?
But that fact,
I always
Jason,
think stuff like this. Yeah.
1,002.
Yeah, there it is.
That fact confuses a lot of people, causes a lot of conspiracy theories because when someone's like, oh, you told me this was science, this was 100% fact, and you're like, no, that's not really how science works. Like it is, everything's about 99.9 based on the evidence,
using what we know.
Using what we know, but things change, and then science changes. And
yeah, science is a way of thinking. It's just if you think the best way I explain impossible science, or the concept that we try to convey as a curriculum, when you come to our camps or festivals, it's really about realizing all of us are in a game without a rule book. There's never been a rule book of what can and can't happen. So every answer we've ever had of what's possible and what's not came from us. And the only reason we think we're right is because we've asked questions in a logical fashion, which is science.
Yeah.
You say something like that in a lot of your videos where you say, hey, don't worry. Like when you're interacting with people, you'll be like, hey, don't worry. Whatever you think is the way I'm doing this is correct.
Yeah.
I've heard you say
yes,
that.
absolutely.
And then I'm like, oh, I like that. Like,
because your way could work too.
Right.
And
a lot of magicians do use more than one process
absolutely
to execute the same illusion.
So
we know that.
That's called effect versus method. So you can have the same effect of somebody floating in the air, but the method could be actually floating, or it could be
an illusion.
An illusion of some sort.
Or 100 different other ways that you do it.
Now, if you take that conversation that you were just talking about and extract it and put it into the science community, effect versus method means you could have a cure to a disease. The effect is the cure. The method could be different ways of approaching a cure. Whether it's back in the day, we used to think maybe for fevers, it was bleeding yourself out. Wasn't a great idea.
Well, I still put leeches on my daughter, to this day.
But then what happens is somebody asked better questions and found a better method to solve the same effect.
Sure.
So when you think about that, the concept of magic approaching science, or science approaching magic, is really just like having a goal, like a cure, innovation, new idea, and asking questions to see if you can bring it to life. Same concept.
You're gonna bore a hole in my head because I'm sad sometimes.
I want that. I want that so bad.
Bad question.
Too far.
There could be a better question. But the idea behind it is like, I've realized over studying magic for so long that when you get to this unlikely versus likely scenario, the real question for me became, well, if everything is just maybe possible, just haven't figured out how to do it yet.
Right.
What defines the concept of magic? If everything is maybe possible, what is magic? And so I started thinking about it, and I realized it's nothing more than a difference in understanding. If I understand, let's say a lighter. A lighter could be very magical to somebody that's never seen a lighter before. A difference in understanding, a difference in technology, a difference in knowledge. And so really, the concept of magic is perspective. Whether you knew it was possible or you didn't know it was possible. Whether you thought it was unlikely or you thought it was likely. And I can actually show you I can show you something right now that will prove to you the difference between.
But going back to the lighter, my pop-up used to say, like, if you went back to medieval times with this lighter, you'd be a king.
Exactly.
And then I'm like, I'm pretty sure they'd murder me because I don't know, some sort of
stick.
He doesn't understand that, like me, you got to think quick on your feet. You got to be like, well, there's more where that came from. If you kill me, I will release hellfire upon this village. And then they all back up.
And then you say, blink.
Then they all back up. Then you look and you see there's no more butane, and you're like, oh my God, what have I done?
Strike.
You gotta start running.
And now I'll show you how fast I am.
Yeah, exactly. Watch this.
Well, even when people would experience like
he's
solar,
gonna do something for us. Don't let him not do something for us.
No, but like solar eclipses and things that we didn't understand,
Exactly.
we were like, hey, quick, murder of a person. We're gonna please the gods.
A solar eclipse once stopped a war because it happened, and they thought the gods were unhappy with them because they were fighting. So it ended the war.
Think about everything we think we know now and what they're going to make fun of us for in the future.
Oh, I think about it all the time. Right now, it's my haircut, but we'll get there.
Wait, it's going to be, wait a minute. You let all of society have smartphones unregulated?
That's a
You
good one.
put a receiver to your face?
Why would you ever, dude? You put a microwave on the side of your head?
You ruined
for hours?
A whole generation ruined. Oh, God, it's my kids.
I do kind of feel like my eyeballs say that to me every day. My eyeballs are like...
you posted photos of your food? What?
That's a good one. That's a great one. Now, are you going to do something for us? Because I love magic.
I got tons of stuff. I got tons of stuff.
Let's do something.
All right. We were on the topic of we were talking about perspective.
Okay, all right.
We can do one thing, it'll look like science, and you could change the perspective and it'll look like magic. So I thought I'd do something along that lines. I have my phone here, but do you guys have your phones, or do you have a calculator available?
Oh yeah, I got one.
And are we live? We're
Yeah,
live.
we
huh?
are live
So-
on Twitch and YouTube.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
all right. So, do you have your phone?
Yeah.
Get your calculator out too.
Get my
Okay, Jeff.
calculator out.
All right. So just go
By
ahead.
the way, you're asking for what is the most dangerous thing anyone should ever ask me is to pull my phone out. Well, I'm gonna put that out
I
there.
thought for you to do math.
Just nobody wants to see anything on my phone. It's nothing but bad stuff.
I thought you were just talking about for me to do math. It's
Okay,
the most
I'm here.
dangerous. All right,
Calculator
so,
ready.
Let's ask one of your viewers. Well, actually, here, Dan, I need you to think of a 3-digit number. Let's all type it in.
A 3-digit number? How about 888?
888. All right.
Okay.
So we're gonna hit that times. Now, Tom, I want you to think of a 3-digit number, not all the same numbers, if you would. And by the way, you can.
3 different numbers?
Yeah, or you can look at the serial on a phone. You could look on a credit card. What's your PIN number? No, just kidding.
Or you're gonna look at your Mountain Dew can.
I'll go 159.
Okay, so we're gonna go 888 times 159. All right. If you hit equals, everybody at home should have 141,192. If you don't have that one, you should be English major or something.
Okay, got 141, 192.
Now I want you. We need a viewer to say a number, a 3-digit number.
Tracy's
the
in there.
chat room.
Tracy is in there.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can use somebody that people
Yeah,
trust. We
yeah.
work with Tracy. Tracy works at the Science
Yeah, but she could be
Center.
an insider. We did not use Tracy. We could
Okay.
have planned this all, and Jason could have been a whole room.
You want to use EJ? He's the greatest villain of our show.
It's got to be someone completely. Who
How
else?
about Melissa?
All right. Okay.
Melissa, you're on the clock. So you need a number from Melissa?
A 3-digit number from Melissa.
Melissa, 3-digit number. She's in our chat room. Melissa will give us a number. All right. We'll all
what-
sit here
what number?
quietly. She said 693.
So we're gonna multiply that 141,192 times 693.
Okay.
Okay. And we got a huge number here, 97 million and change. All right, now I don't want. Let's see. On this one, we're gonna add, and I'm just gonna flip the phone over. I don't want you to randomly tap the screen.
Okay. All right.
Just give it a few taps.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yes, you would too.
All right. Tink, tink, tink. There we go.
And Jeff. Okay, we're gonna add 11,000,011,441,519
441
519
519. Got
and
it.
hit equals.
Okay. What was it? 1-1. What is it?
Oh my God! I feel like I'm back in high school. I'm like, get this guy in the slow class.
oh my
this
God.
guy's an idiot. He's slow. You know what? This is disruptive to my education having this.
Wait, I
dum-dum in
need
it.
the math again because somebody cleared my phone.
Okay, so
You said just punch randomly.
Yeah.
You said punch
Okay,
randomly.
the first one was 888, right? The second
Yeah.
one was
159.
Yeah. Yes.
times 159.
Yes.
The next one was
What did Melissa say?
times
Melissa said 693.
Oh, yes.
times 693, and we had the number 97 million. All right.
Yep, 97, 846, 056.
056,
056.
Okay. Now we're gonna hit some random numbers.
Okay. All right. Here we go. All right.
Perfect. And if you hit some random numbers.
Ding, 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 ding.
Okay.
All right.
And if you hit some random numbers.
That's not clearing.
not
Yeah.
clear. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
How'd we do?
Everybody add 114
Okay.
415 197.
Okay.
All right. All right.
You get 212 million and change, right?
Yeah.
Now, for those of you watching mathematics, that made perfect sense, right? But if I change the perspective of something right now, if I were to change your perspective of mathematics, we're going to go from likely to unlikely. Now, does that make sense?
Yes.
So, does that number look familiar to any of you?
What did 212,261,253?
No. 261,253.
It does not ring a bell to in my.
That's not your favorite number in the world?
No.
No.
Well, if you take a closer look at it and you really think about it, we're really close to the idea of changing. If I were to write this out, you could write 2/12/26/1253. February 12th, 2026 at 12:53.
Wow.
That's the time that we're doing the event
Damn.
right
Oh my
now.
God! I wrote it down in the. I hit that one in the chat room too. I was just listening to what you said, and I put it. That's
That's
I
exact
don't-
date and
That's
time of
crazy.
today.
that's creepy. Jason, that's a creepy. That's a good one. That's good.
No, because when you think about it.
Well, hold on. How did
that-
you get it right at the
So when you-
12:53?
so when you think
how did
of-
you hit it on the nut?
So
like
when you
that?
think about it, that was just a simple math trick. And then you realize something, wait a second, if you change your perspective of what that was, that's magical. And that's true for any topic anywhere. If you just change your perspective, a microwave is magical.
Yeah.
Your car is magical.
So
Dan's just nodding. He's like, this is
no, but
amazing.
you know why? Because now we're mad, like a little bit mad. 'Cause this
well,
guy-
there's a lot of good math tricks,
Yeah.
and then like mathematics is going back to like science and magic being real close cousins. Like mathematics is used a lot in magic because it doesn't seem possible when like there's certain numbers that I forgot. I saw this on TikTok.
You're explaining this
whatever.
perfectly.
Well, there's some number where like a 4-digit number, and then if you reorganize.
Is this the same one I learned when I was in like 8th grade?
Yes, yeah. It's like an 8th grade magic. I only know things from 8th grade, Jason.
Say most. What do you put in a toaster? Is that the one you're gonna do?
Here's a simple math
All
one.
right, okay.
All right, you take this one. I don't know if you can see this on the.
Yeah. I'm gonna
piece.
shrink your camera down so it's a wider angle. There we go. Now we got you.
It's a simple idea of I joke around as the illusion of knowledge. You will trick yourself into saying, I know the answer. I don't need to learn anymore. Like in this box is another box. Wow. And by pulling the black box out of the green box, I don't know if you can see it. By pulling the black box out of the green box, we can assume one thing about the interior size of this box in relationship to this box.
Yeah, it's smaller.
Which is, we say smaller, which is why it's so odd that the green box fits inside the black box. This is not a magic trick. The boxes are the exact same size. They're just in different orientations. But we would have been comfortable with the word smaller, and we would have said, I don't need to learn anymore. I already know the answer. And you would have moved on with the illusion
I almost
of knowledge.
freaked out and
That's what
ran
I
out of
always
here.
do,
When you
Jason.
put the green box inside the black box, I almost freaked out and ran out of here.
Every morning
I
I,
do not
wake
like
up
that.
and I tell myself I don't need to learn anything. I know everything.
So you change, if you change your perspective into just saying, I don't know everything, that's the concept of the show, is
Yeah.
like the right question changes everything.
Not of our show. The concept of our show is he knows everything.
So you basically have to think outside the box.
there you go. Jeff got it. You're bringing it all around.
And that looks like a good time for me to tell you to think outside the bun. This brought to you by Taco Bell and their brand new
That's a good one.
cinnamon taquitos.
Oh, we'd be rich if we had
I know,
Taco Bell as a
I know,
sponsor.
we would. But we don't. We don't have Taco Bell.
Yes.
So
Don't miss the new Science Taco.
Get
Get it at Science Night Live on Saturday.
Science Night Live. I would love that.
So-
Science and tacos, Jeff. That's a great idea.
I'll write that
I
down.
think we've hit on the next theme of
Yeah,
this
I would
event.
definitely do
The Cinco
that.
de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo.
We could,
we could corner the Cinco de Mayo
We
magic
could
show.
totally do that. Get a mariachi band out
Get
there.
on that.
Yeah.
We only have one show a year. It's a very specific time. Just
What is that? What is this?
This is a levitation wand. Because it says levitation wand.
Oh, it does say, it does say levitation.
Duh. But this goes back to the idea if you took a lighter back to medieval times, you could rule the world. Well, this is a levitation wand. Now, since it's from Impossible Science, it's not like, you wouldn't realize, well, you probably don't think this is superpowers, but really what it is, it's a handheld Van de Graaff. What is that? It builds a static charge. If I push this button and build a static charge into that wand, I take this Mylar and I touch it against this wand, and all of a sudden, you have levitation.
Oh, wow. It turned into a weird shape, too.
Yeah,
It turned into like Madonna's bra, like I believe, or something like.
everybody
This
sees it a
is-
little differently.
Let it fall a little bit so it can. I'll put it in the camera.
Look
There
at
it is. There
that.
it is. There it is.
So it wants to ground out. So it wants to touch something where it loses its static charge.
It was looking for that microphone.
Oh, I can do it. Yeah, I can move this back.
And
over
that's
here.
called a Van de Graaff?
Yeah, Van de Graaff generator. Normally they're really large and you make your hair stand up.
Okay.
This one's battery powered. So now you actually just touch it here. Let's see if I can keep it away from that. How about that? That works for you?
Yeah, that is fantastic.
So this, it looks magical. Had you not had somebody to explain how it works, it would probably be, I don't know,
Oh man, you
the beginning of a small
You
religion.
just sold 40 of these in the chat room.
Yeah, yeah.
People would buy this.
And so what happens is if I touch it, it's going to discharge. So watch. So it discharges. But if I let it charge, it goes up. Now it's trying to touch something that's touching the ground, which is your microphone. So
but that's also science because it's seeking that out. Is it
Exactly.
drawn to the microphone because it wants
Put
to?
your hand up. It's attracted to you.
Oh, I killed it.
I just blew
So,
your
Jason,
mind.
I would play with this all afternoon as a,
I'll get you one, I'll get you one, I'll
relaxing
get you one.
sensory toy.
Anytime I see a magician levitate anything, I'm always like, he's using a hair string, man. That's my go-to is a hair string.
Yeah.
But it's not. It can be done
You
different
put
ways.
the man on the end of it. He's using a hair string,
Yeah,
man.
it's invisible to the naked eye, and he's holding it with his tongue.
I get embarrassed of showing how we turn into to blubbering hillbillies when magicians come around. Anybody that does magic and science, they come in here, and Tom and I show
Must be a
our-
hairstring.
When they show our
Everything's a hairstring.
we love magic, and we are powerless fools to magic.
And then you meet some magician who's like bald, and you're like, I don't know, I got nothing.
Well,
He must be a mentalist.
you described it perfectly in the fact that there's multiple ways to make something levitate.
Effect versus
It's not
method.
always a hairstring.
Yeah.
Like
That
this
was
is
great though,
like-
because that is using science to make real magic, right?
Which is exactly what impossible.
That's what you're doing.
So Impossible Science, as a company, we've taken the nation's science standards and transformed them into magic tricks. So the kids
love it.
not only blow their minds, they go, well, how does that work?
Yeah.
And ta-da, they just learned about refraction. Ta-da, you just learned about static electricity, or you learned about math. You know, I have no superpowers, and I love telling people I have no superpowers. I'm just a guy who asks a lot of questions.
Yeah. One of the greatest things to come out of sensory and fidgets were like some of the fidgets are good, and I'll give you one. That mega cube that has the different tinted sides that shows you the power of like you can use colors and refraction to change different colors in the cube. Have you seen that thing?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, it's just this cube, and each side it has a different like RGB, like red, green, blue, and then you
cool.
can when you turn it and it.
a Rubik's cube.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's just a block.
No, it's
like-
just a block of light, and
Yeah.
as you turn it, each filter like cyan will kill blue, or
It's
vice
great.
versa, and that's how. And it teaches you how light will eliminate other colors to make other colors.
Yeah, your perception of color is
Right.
all have to do
and
with
it
light.
teaches
yeah.
you the science of it. But what's weird is that like this stuff is popular now. This stuff is like in the algorithm where it's like these are like devices that kids you could have never been able to buy that when I was a kid.
These-
Stuff like that. Like that would have been something that only your science teacher had, and he spent like $200 on it that the company didn't, or that Volusia County Schools didn't give him, and he spent his own money to get it, and he brought it in to show you how to like learn the colors through light.
When people tell me that they like, I was just thinking about back in the day, people would tell me stuff like, "Oh, I was never good at science," and it's partially because your science teacher wasn't helpful. Didn't help you.
Right,
They didn't have, maybe some of them didn't have the right gadget to inspire you with, or didn't have the right presentation to inspire you with.
Sure.
And so that's kind of what we're hoping to do this weekend is we have professionals from all over the country coming to one spot to showcase the craziness that is going on in science today. And when I'm doing my show, I'm, no offense, but I'm not bringing my levitation wand on stage and not a cardboard box. I'm bringing what I would say is my level of impossible science, where I'm going to walk through a 4-foot by 7-foot plate glass mirror, where I invite the audience to come up and check it out. We're going to be shaping water in an object. We're going to be bending light. We're going to be making things move on their own, and we'll even turn somebody invisible. I actually brought my invisibility shield, the one I built that I terrorized my neighborhood with it during COVID.
Can you talk a little bit about that? Because I
on.
was reading something about that, but then I didn't get to finish what. So you actually built an invisibility cloaking device?
Shield, yeah,
of
yeah.
the invisibility shield.
That's the technical term.
Okay, I love it. I love it.
No, it's okay.
I will
so-
give you $10,000 for it because it's been my dream, Jason.
It really
to
has.
be invisible since
So-
I was young.
So there's lots of the effect.
Buy this for your son Tommy. That's his dream.
He's not
right?
getting it. I got the 10,000.
I'll give you $20,000
for two.
What's it called? The idea behind it is like, so the effect is turning yourself invisible. The method that I chose to use is refraction, and so basically, there's a lot of people that have used a lenticular lens to make themselves turn invisible. Not everybody took the time to explain how they work and break them down how to make them work even better and make the background perfect so that it would work anywhere, anytime. And I am a super nerd, and I decided to go for it, and now I built it, and I brought it here. And so at the Orlando Science Center, kids get to play with it.
That's awesome.
Perfect
Yeah,
City 4 and Harry Potterville is
Yeah.
there. If you're going to do invisibility, Orlando's the place.
Yeah,
there's
stay
no
in
real-
science class.
We are we're as close to real Hogwarts as you can get, right? Like, it's got to be here. That's an Orlando thing.
It's so important to me that the kids realize that not only is this amazing and inspiring and just jaw-dropping science, it's super important that they know they could do it too. It's so important that they know that they could ask a question that could change the world. And it's our responsibility as educators to make sure that they're inspired so they can stand on our shoulders to see farther over the horizon on what's not possible now but could be with their question.
There you go.
And it's super interesting because even when you see science working in front of you and you know that that wand is creating static electricity and that's what's moving the tinsel but even though you realize the science behind it, it still seems magical.
Exactly.
Because you don't understand you can't see and totally you wrap your brain around the fact of what static electricity even is and how it affects this. And so even though you know it's science, it does still seem like magic, which is pretty cool that we have that relationship with science. And you almost have to have faith that it isn't magic. And you have
it works both ways.
Because
it works in that well, hold on a second, it could be magic. It does work that way.
It just changed your perspective. Is that a likely situation for you? Is it likely that you have a Van de Graaff generator at your house?
Now, see, I was very lucky that going to DeLand High, I did have a physics teacher that was badass. Shout out Mr. Dunn. He had all of these things that you're talking about. I'm triggering myself a little bit because it was one of my favorite classes.
Right.
There's some certain things that in science, I still have core memories of them, and it is why I like magic to this day. Like the alchemy penny lab, when you take a penny and you use chemicals to make it look like it's turning into gold, which is a technique that people used to scam people back in the day and probably still do it now.
Is that why you're?
That's badass. That is so
I heard this
cool.
might work.
But he had the big thing and the static electricity, the
Van de Graaff.
Yeah, Van de Graaff, and he spent a lot of his own money because teachers don't get paid tons to buy a lot of this stuff because he was kind of like you. He thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Well, think about even the ordinary things that everybody has in their house and our misunderstanding of how they work, like a microwave. You remember in the 80s when your mom told you not to stand too close to the microwave because of radiation? No one understood that all it did is vibrate water molecules and to heat them up. And it's completely safe, and we're like, nah, radiation. because
It has to be radiation.
You're like, radiation's hot.
There's plutonium in there, right?
I mean, I still, to this day, if I use the microwave here, I come in here. I treat it no different like an X-ray machine. The doctor, she goes behind the thing, and she's like, okay. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Why are you behind the thing?
You're perfectly safe, but I'm going to run around.
You're shooting it right into me.
Yeah, but even something as simple as that everybody uses every day, it's you don't really understand fully, even though you say it oh yeah, it's just vibrating water molecules, and that's what's heating it up.
I think our thermostat went off. Jason's taking his jacket off.
Yeah, now we're talking real science here. We got to get ready for this.
But even though you say okay, and you're like, yes, that's how it works, you're like, don't even really understand that, right?
Well, because again, you told me what that is. You told me what the science behind it is. I can go and read about the science. I can't technically really see what the machine is doing.
Yeah.
So there is an element of magic to it, right?
Well, there's always that having an imagination of what could happen. That's what I always attribute that to wonder. For me, my definition of wonder is this ability to have an idea of something before it's ever happened. Like the concept of tomorrow. We can all wonder about tomorrow. Now, the reason why I think that's significant to me is because as of right now, I think we're the only living species that we know of that can do that. I try to teach your dog the concept of tomorrow.
That's right. I tried. He's an idiot.
I know. I told him
this dog. He's so
living every
I told you July 31st.
I'm I'll see you tomorrow. He's like, what?
Well, see, that's. I love the fact that we don't know it all.
Right.
Jason, right? That's and
then
Jeff,
why do you pretend to know it all?
Well, Jeff, I mean, this is the wonder behind the Science Center.
It really
is.
is.
In general, it's yes, we know so much, and it's awesome how much we know and how much we can look up and know, but there's still mystery.
So much.
Exactly.
The fact that we don't know what dark matter is, and the fact that we don't know fully what happened before the Big Bang, or if that even is a thing, if the time started at the Big Bang, and stuff like that, where it's there are so many mysteries out there that we don't know of, and that's what I'm fascinated about, because we do seemingly you can look up everything and you're like, oh, okay, this is how it works, but there are still mysteries out there.
Yeah, and the only reason we're able to talk about them now is because we can wonder about an answer. We can wonder about something that doesn't exist, and that's the quintessential essence of being a human.
I think that's the fuel, right?
Yeah,
that
we can wonder.
Yeah.
And the Science Center, especially this weekend, this Spark STEM Fest,
sir.
this ability to wonder needs to be flexed like a muscle. You need to use it. You need to keep using your ability to ask questions so that you can flex your your curiosity and get it strengthened by saying, you know what, I don't know everything, but it's okay to keep asking questions.
See, I wish you were my wife, Jason, because
whoa.
That is one
Married.
of the,
Married.
Okay, before you freak out.
Already taken.
Before you freak out, let me just tell you that is the highest compliment that we can give you on the show is to tell man or woman that we wish we were married to you.
because when
Thank you for clarification.
when I ask how things
I'm still not
work,
going to tell you the answer.
my wife's like, quit asking, wondering how things work. It's annoying.
Why do you care?
Yeah. Why do you care how things work or why something's happening? I'm like, that's what life's
Her
about.
least favorite show is How It's Made. She hates that show. It's on. She's like, turn that on.
We already know the answer. It's a Frisbee.
Aren't you curious to the mysteries of life? How is this plane flying? Anyway, she hates it. Jason, thanks so much for coming by. And Jeff,
I'm sorry.
you,
That's
yes.
super funny. There are so many shows. You were doing a ton of shows. Right? Like, I'm looking at them here, the show schedule. So I just want to make sure I let people know, let our listeners know, because we're getting a lot of people in here like, when is this? When can I go? So, I mean, basically all weekend, but you're going to want to get the tickets. If you want to be a part of the Valentine's Day event that night, that's adults only, you're going to want to get that super duper fast. But there are other ways to see Jason, what he does, the show, and be a part of, you know.
Spark STEM Fest is happening Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Jason is performing multiple shows throughout the weekend. Come check him out. Yeah, we want you to come to the Science Night Live, which is 18 and up, Valentine's Day themed. He's going to do some special shows. We also have astronaut Nicole Stott and Christina Korp, the astronaut wrangler. They're going to be doing a fireside chat, going to talk about what it's like being in space. Christina's going to talk about her career managing Buzz Aldrin. It's going to be moderated by Brendan Byrne from Central Florida Public Media. A lot of cool stuff happening Saturday night. Get some tickets online at osc.org. But also the Spark STEM Fest all weekend long. Some amazing stuff. Partners like Disney, Lockheed Martin, Advent Health, plus these awesome shows with Jason. UCF is there with robot dogs. It's going to be incredible.
Can we
you don't want to
you
miss
think we
it.
could get a robot dog for the studio, Jeff?
I think we should. I mean,
The interview's
you know,
a little quiet.
it will
buy
pay
it.
attention to your show.
We'll buy it.
Yeah.
We'll buy
well, I
it.
spent all my money on invisibility.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Yeah.
I can't have a robot dog and invisibility.
You have to choose. You have to
Yes,
choose.
yeah, big choices.
Just don't misplace the dog.
That's true.
I think he's behind the shield.
I put the cloak on the dog and now they're both missing.
Don't move.
Where did I put the invisibility shield?
That's hilarious.
Jason, Jeff, thanks so much.
Thank
We
you
love having
very
you,
much.
man.
Thank you so much.
Anytime you have something to promote, please hit us up.
Thank
Jeff,
you.
always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Always a
Thank you.
pleasure.
Guys, we will we'll see you tomorrow.
Yep.
All right, we did it. And we have Tuttle, so I'm going to put some music on for us, guys, so we can do a scene change. We'll be right back.
That was great. That was awesome.
Yes.
Independent podcast.
O-Town's #1 rock station, Z159 FM, your only home for the Hot Tub and Mini Fridge Morning Show and Dump 'em Out Fridays.
Ooh, yeah, a hot tub and mini fridge. Keep me cold and hot.
me get Tuds going here. Hey, Tuds. Hold on, buddy. Let me get this music out of here, Tuds. Tuttle, come in, Tuttle.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You always sound terrific. Let me get your camera on. Yep, you look good. Let me get that.
Trying to see if I can see who the guest was.
Jason Latimer and Jeff from the Science Center. I'll put on Tom's camera so you can see them.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Yep, there they are. And then we'll go back here. Oh, Jesus. Yep, there we go. Okay, we're good.
You always got to be businessman.
I know, he's out there. He's out there telling them lies.
Kind of like how I used to, my brokered shows, tell lies.
Those are
about what
my
I can
favorite.
get you.
We want to talk about that. Curaleaf. I don't think there is such a thing as Curaleaf anymore? I believe all the Curaleafs are now Planet 13s or Planet 19 or 18, something, Planet 17.
Yes, yeah. No, they just opened one right next door to a Taco Bell here in Edgewater.
That's smart.
Perfect.
See you guys. Bye, Jason. Bye, Jeff. Love those guys. That was super fun.
I'm gonna give.
I want a wand.
Video to you.
Yeah, just message it to me and then I'll upload it to Melissa.
What is going on with your hair today, man?
Who, mine?
No, Tom.
You and I are growing our hair out because that's the style now. He's a cop now.
No, I cut.
He's
my
an
hair
ICE agent.
yesterday.
Normally wears a mask. He won't take it off like a regular ICE agent. I'm like, take your mask off, ICE, and he won't take it off.
White
He's
Christian nationalist
he is.
haircut.
He's
Hey,
got the
come on.
Nazi haircut, full Nazi.
Here, I'm gonna give you.
Peaky Blinders.
What are you gonna give me? Are you gonna give me some of your old Nazi memorabilia? You gonna keep it in your truck?
No.
What are you gonna give me?
Hitler's teacup.
No.
Hitler's teacup. Donald said. You're gonna
on.
give me Hitler's teacup?
I'll give it to you after. God damn.
You don't know how to do it either. I don't either. Latimer, did you
Was
see
he
how
trying
quick
to
he was with this?
airdrop?
Did you see
Yeah.
how? Did you,
Not even
Latimer?
tap.
Did you see how quick Jason Latimer was with his phone? He's like, you do this, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Did you see how I lost points with him? When I said, well,
because-
what do I do now? And I go, do you hit this button? And I hit it, and then he goes, I hope so. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
I lost points with him. I lost points with him.
How do I send this?
I sometimes when I'm
What are you
in
trying to do?
public,
You want me to send it?
No, hold on.
That's what Maisie does. No, I got it.
Yeah, I got it.
You're doing the Maisie.
Airdrop. I'm gonna airdrop it to you.
All right, I got my phone. I'm ready. You airdrop me whatever you
Let
want.
me just touch it.
What are you doing? What the fuck are you talking? You fucking,
No, he's trying to touch the top
you
of the
fucking
phone.
palmer! You trying to touch my Peter? I'm bringing Peter back.
Hold on.
I'm bringing Peter back. Yeah.
Can I do multiple?
You can do multiple.
No.
Sometimes when I'm in a crowd,
Yeah,
I like to see if anybody has all contacts
Yeah, there you go.
that
send
can
it?
send
Yeah.
you stuff.
I saw the magic wave.
Okay, something's happening. Oh shit. Well, it just opened up X videos. What did you send me?
Hold on. I'm gonna send you another one. Oh, I'm gonna send you all of them. Hold on. Here we go.
Put our tips together. Touch tips.
There we go.
Okay. Yep, it's
You should-
going.
Oh, you should have got it. Okay.
Yep, I got it.
And we'll just send
Oh,
them
it's a
all.
picture of Crystal's titties.
Oh, so the airdrop failed.
No, I got it.
Okay.
3 videos complete. It's a picture of Crystal's titties. Awesome. They're amazing. White milkers. All
I
right.
don't have it. Crystal's so paranoid, rightfully so, that I will somehow leak news
At least
of her.
you've had something even close. My wife wears a goddamn burqa to bed. I'm sleeping with goddamn Muammar Gaddafi. That's a reference. There's a reference for you. I'm sleeping with Muammar. All right.
So,
I'm trying to make Tuttle laugh.
I'm laughing.
Are you at Bubba
Sorry.
Studios or is that just a background?
It's just a background.
Don't tell people that. You should always lie and say, I'm live from Love Sponge Studios.
So Tuttle, I know we got a loose idea. Okay, we'll just go loose. We're going loose.
We're going loose.
Is this edited, non-edited,
Well,
censored?
this will be aired on the radio,
Okay,
but
so
we can edit
censored.
it after.
Yeah, but we can edit it. Let me get a piece
But
of paper.
you're a pro. Just do it censored.
Yeah, we'll just...
Do it TR,
I don't know what that means.
terrestrial radio.
Oh, I thought you meant trans-related. I don't know what you meant. Okay, would you like to start?
That's, by the way, no one says that. No one
TR.
should ever say that.
Terrestrial radio. We're doing it TR.
All right.
All right, I'll start.
Yep.
So what day? It's just a day, right?
Yeah, we're gonna air this in spring break.
Okay, here we go.
Keep it evergreen. Tom was using that radio term earlier.
Evergreen.
He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, we're doing some evergreen topics.
We're going to kick around some pit bulls, some abortion, medical marijuana, the normals. Trans bathrooms. What the fuck?
Was
There's
he
a
drinking
man in my
Taylor's
bathroom. What the fuck is happening? I'm trying to take a goddamn deuce.
My shits have been real.
It's weird to me that
clean.
people get mad about anything. Like, I'm like, you have time to get mad about that? All right, I'll start. Here we go.
I have a story I can't tell on this show. But
Oh,
I can tell it on the BDM show, but I have to remember.
well, let's do a
It
BDM show
involves
then.
me going into the bathroom, and then I can't even say it. So whoever's in the chat, remind me about this story.
Ryan will do it if he's in there, or Robert. Robert will do it too.
Remind me on a BDM show, school bathroom story.
Okay, I will start. Here we go. And 3, 2. Welcome to another Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom.
We're live on Twitch and YouTube. We'd love it if you come hang out in the chat room with, who we got in there today? We got EJ and Jackal's in there, Frog and Molly, Melissa's in there, Tracy's in there, and you can find all of that on YouTube at Tom and Dan Live. Also on Twitch, just search for Tom and Dan Live.
With us on Zoom, I would say one of the most
I think he's
infamous
the greatest living radio broadcasters, I would.
radio broadcaster. Well,
He laughs at that, but I'm not kidding. He is my favorite radio broadcaster.
Tuttle's on the show. How you doing, Tuttle?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you, Tom? I'm sorry that we had to move it back a little bit, but
What happened?
I'm HR business pad. I had some meetings. I was closing on a deal in Orlando for a new client that's coming on full time.
And I lied.
What do you got there?
This crematorium place that they came on full time. I don't know if did I tell you guys about this one?
Is this real or not?
No,
What are you doing? Are you doing a bit? What are you doing?
no.
What's impossible to
Yeah,
tell?
what are you doing?
That's why he's got
No,
the
I
good.
I don't know what this guy's doing. Every
okay.
every step I take, every way I turn, he's inflating something in his rear end. He's,
Is this a racist joke?
No, it's for real. This crematorium company in Orlando, they sell crematorium machines to, like funeral homes. And then they also do the pet ones as well, too. But they sell your service contracts that they go because after a certain while, you got to get them recertified. And then you got to get in, you got to clean out all the stuff that's in there. And then you got to like re-cement the inside. So you crawl in. So they hired us to start getting them technicians that can do it.
So what's interesting, when you clean out a crematorium,
you burn it off like a grill.
there's essentially...
Everyone knows that. You turn it up as high as it'll go, both burners, and you let it roll for 15 minutes, and then you go out there and scrub the white off.
There's dust of 1,000 bodies in there, right?
Which was a Rob Zombie movie, House of 1,000 Bodies.
Like
Dust of 1,000 Bodies.
So essentially, you clean up all this dust, and this is from hundreds. I don't know how often they clean them, but I imagine hundreds of bodies get cremated, and then they get the majority of the ashes out, but you can't get everything. So
why would you ever clean it?
Because I think it builds up.
No, but why? No, but not. I mean, I don't think you clean it very often, right?
No, but when they clean them, they have to go in because I wanted to understand the process. They got to clean everything down. They sandblast the inside because you would think that they're metal, but they're not. They do like a concrete, like ceramic type finish because it like holds the heat a little bit better because like certain materials will pop and crack.
Yeah.
So you need a clean surface when they're redoing the insides of the machines because you got to do them like every a couple of years.
What do you find when my dad was cremated? Were his fillings in there? Like if I go and open that box of my dad in my wife's office, are his metal teeth in there?
No,
What's in there?
What
What am I gonna find?
All the
Am I
metal.
gonna find a metal C ring in there? What am I finding in there?
I think, do they give the loved ones the metal? Like, let's say, okay, Daniel, when he's cremated.
I will not be cremated.
Oh, really?
You know what? I want to be shot out of a one of those British cannons, like like the
like a
ones
human cannonball?
like a human cannonball, and I want to be shot out, ragdoll dead, like just ragdoll.
Where?
Right,
Like where?
right into the Bahamas. Just out there where people are jet skiing.
Well, what island?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, all right.
You know what? It does matter. Eleuthera.
Okay, well, that's the hardest one to get to.
I'm very particular.
I'll give you Grand Bahama,
I
but
don't
I'm
want
not going all the
Grand
way to
Bahama.
Eleuthera.
I want Eleuthera.
No.
Or Abaco. I'll take an Abaco Island.
No.
Aruba. Have you guys ever seen when they do those Indian sky burials?
What is that?
So, like, the monks and stuff, what they do is they lay their loved ones on the side of this mountain, and the world's largest bird, it's a condor, and they come down and they basically pick the whole body clean. Like, you watch your loved ones get eaten by big giant birds.
I can't watch that. I can't watch my wife get pecked to death, or I can't watch her dead body be used as nourishment for a condor. I can't do that.
What the? Who would
How
want
long
that?
do I watch? Or am I supposed to watch? Are they like, you're not a man
You
unless you
have
watch
to.
the condor eat your wife? I'm like, that's not me a man.
But they take the bones that are left over, and that's what they bury. So the loved ones have to actually go out and pick up the bones and everything.
And they're
put it in a
scattered
bag.
because condors are not organized.
Hold on, I feel like it would pick up one of my legs. Eventually, it'd peck it clean, like peck it off, and then it would pick the leftover
And then my
flesh.
penis is kind of attached to the leg, and it's like, oh, God, pull that off. It's like when a chef is cutting chicken, you cut the skin off.
But then it'd fly away. Like, it's not leaving a clean skeleton. Like, it's picking up some bones
No, this
and
thing
like,
is
your
dumb
femur.
as hell. It's a dumbass condor. It's flinging your bones everywhere. That's what I'm saying. They're
And
not
it's doodling
organized.
on your bones.
Yeah, it is doo-dooing on your bones. It is. It might even have coitus on your bones. A girl condor comes over, this thing starts pumping on your bones.
Yeah, it's a dumb animal.
I don't want a condor pumping on my bones. Ever.
I mean, they got documentaries and videos where you can watch them come out, and like if it's a real fat person, they kind of like cut it up into like sections a little bit, like kind of how you tenderize meat or whatever. Like they have a machete and like they cut up the the quadriceps and stuff, so it's a lot easier for them to get into.
So
God, I can't do that.
Speaking of bizarre burial practices, me and Daniel have talked about
Is this the topic today? Topic of the day: bizarre burial practices.
But we've joked around about this before, but this ended up in my algorithm. In some islands, maybe Bahamas, there's certain religions that will take a corpse of a loved one and they will prop it up in some sort of ceremony where the local, or like friends and family, will come by and start slapping its face and then mushing mud into it, and certain like. I'm serious.
He's not wrong.
Yeah,
I mean, they've gone as far as they'll mount the dead body on the motorcycle it loved, like it's riding it, and then they'll ride with it behind it. They're slapping its face.
But they're slapping it.
Yeah, they slap it.
This is not just about, yes, we've seen the ones where like they mount like your friend Fred, he liked to ride his street bike, so they'll put him in a full
it's
street
not that
bike.
one. I've seen him slap the face.
Yeah, no, but so this is not just like, hey, you're mounting the dead body, doing what it used to love. This is there's slapping involved, and then they're smushing chemical. Like
This
some
is
sort
big in a lot of Middle Eastern countries. During a time of grief, this is from the internet. During time of grief, a lot of Middle Eastern countries and or religions use a face slap as a sign of grief. It says it right here.
Yeah, and they'll
It's
slap,
like a thing that they slap each other's faces.
and they'll slap the corpse, and they'll be screaming and slapping it.
Been around for hundreds of years. It started in the ancient Mediterranean world.
It is bizarre, and there's now, because everybody has a smartphone, like HD video of this, and it's off-putting. It is.
Have you ever seen? Don't they stone people in the Middle East too? I mean,
That's not the topic.
Time,
We're not talking about what they do in the Middle East. I mean, they do a lot of things there.
Why would you bring that up?
Well, I'm just saying.
And she deserved it for driving.
Yeah, I mean,
How dare her?
Oh my God, you see her? She California stopped at that stop sign. Drag her out.
So, Tuttle, this is not what we wanted to talk about today.
How did we get into Middle Eastern death stoning? How did we get into that?
Well, I was just saying, Bubba stoned me one day. They
did
buried
they
me
do
up
that?
to my chest.
Was Bubba like,
What are those terrorists doing down there? You know what? Hey, where's Tuttle? Get Tuttle in here. Let's treat him like the terrorists treat him. Let's stun him like he's a woman trying to drive.
is that what Bubba does?
They did that, and then the next week they
Pull his pecker out and stone him.
No, his syndication deal. He wanted to deep fry a Koran on the air.
That's very southern to deep fry the Koran. It's very southern. Was he gonna
That's
batter
dangerous.
it? Was he gonna batter it or just lower it into the oil?
You know
Well,
what?
no, he was gonna batter it.
Okay.
Like,
all right. What kind
fish
of?
fry.
Like you do it like a dry dredge. You do it like a flour dredge.
We never
or
talk
you do like a wet batter.
like 90s shock jock radio show hosts have some balls.
Oh, yeah.
That's I would not go near that.
Oh, I would put Bubba the Love Sponge almost up there top
Yeah.
tier. I mean, like he
How-
never shied away from anything.
So Tuttle, because you've worked in radio, like
That's what I wanted to ask Tuttle
Yeah.
today. What was your first radio show that you ever worked for? Was it Ron and Fez?
Yes. Yeah.
And what year?
98, maybe early 1999, and I remember.
I'm jealous of that. You know I'm jealous of that because as far as I'm concerned, Ron Bennington, Fez Whatley are, to me, the same level as like any cast member of Howard Stern because I grew up on Ron and Ron here in Orlando. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what me and my dad would bond over Shock Jock Radio, and Ron were the guy. They were the local guys, and we loved them.
I remember the first time because my mom was working at the bakery, so at Winn-Dixie, Brandywine, and like the first time I actually stunted was they had a dominatrix come in and, you know, handcuff me and just smack the ever-living crap out of me, and my mom and dad were so mad. My dad actually...
The hell are you doing? Your
dad
mom
acted-
was out in the field taking a dump in the field, and she told me she heard you on the radio getting domineered.
Yeah, and like it was great. Like I had welts all over me. It was the first time I'm stunting. My dad acted upset in front of my mom, but he was like, "Boy, how was it?"
Yeah.
Because it
Like it?
you
I
know,
like
it
my
was-
nipple. I love it when your mother pinches my nipples. I love it.
Yeah, so they were going for a record of the most clothespins on my face and nipples and stuff. And then at the end, off the air, like Ron talked her into sitting on certain body part.
Wait a minute, you get to sleep with the dominatrix?
Well, it was she used my face as a chair.
Was she nude?
Yes,
That's an advanced move for a young intern boy.
it was the first time. I was so virgin
and I
at
would
that time.
argue
Oh, is it your first time that any woman has done that?
this is okay. We need to freeze this moment in radio history, and this is a moment in history because I did not know this. Some could make the argument that a young Patrick, a
Yeah.
young Tuttle, personally, in my opinion, one of the greatest living broadcasters alive, started his tour of radio. He got the bug. He got that itch because he got his right on the face, right on the face,
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
right on the
that
face,
same-
and then you're like, "This is it. This is what I'm doing for the rest of my life."
And it wasn't even on the air, right? It was like on the break or something.
You got so many high fives in the chat room
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
Nobody knew the
Yeah, it
story,
was-
Pat. Nobody knew the story, and I only call you Pat when I'm being
Okay,
serious.
because this is on terrestrial radio.
Yes.
I want you to describe it as within so much detail, but still be FCC compliant.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, okay, yeah.
You're the
So-
pro.
Yeah. Get into the.
My hands are tied behind my back, but then she had kind of taken a rope and tied it around my ankles. So I'm on my knees like this, okay?
Oh, like
Okay.
hog tied.
And where are you? Describe where you are. You in a dirty,
In the
filthy
studio.
radio? It's filthy, right?
Yeah.
It's a filthy.
Yeah.
There's so much pee-pee on the floor. It's
The
just
carpet
gross.
is disgusting.
It's disgusting, right? And you're in Daytona Beach on the floor of the Crow. Is that where you're at?
Yes. Yeah. So there
Crow
was a chair.
Radio, real quick. Crow Radio was the best alternative station in Florida. There will
it's
never.
still out there, right?
There will no. There'll never
No,
be.
it's
no,
country now.
There'll never be a better alternative. That was the best alternative radio station for rock music we ever had.
What numbers were it? What was it?
93.1.
93.1 The Crow.
Yeah. I like a good animal station. Like, I look
93.
up-
but
No,
they-
this was the Crow. Like, think
the stickers they had were the best. Remember, everybody had their bumper stickers. It was a great logo.
yeah, it was a Crow logo, 93.1. But I think it kind of was like at the same time that the movie The Crow came out, and and that movie had a great soundtrack. So they kind of like branded themselves as they're like the Crow.
Stone Temple Pilots was a
Yeah.
part of that soundtrack.
Oh,
okay, all right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
struck when the iron was hot, and there was not a hotter rock station. The Crow. Now, you're going to have some JRR guys that may say I'm wrong or whatever, but I'm just saying from a guy that loves radio, you're wrong. The Crow was the station that everybody was like, dude, are you listening to The Crow? Because JRR is for old construction workers. You got to listen to The Crow. If you listen to JRR, you're just some dumb old Steven Tyler.
Oh, that
You're
was the
some old
sentiment. And,
yeah, if you listen to JRR, you might as well be listening to DIZ, which is like old man radio. The Crow was what's
so
happening.
did they play music too in the mornings, or was it just all
Yeah,
talk?
Yeah, they only played two songs an hour and then let Ron and Fez. But we didn't have a delay button, so when the songs were playing, we would have to record all of our phone calls.
That because the delay was technology that a lot of radio stations didn't want to
No,
spend
they
the money.
had it.
Oh,
They just didn't want to pay for it. We would just record everything on Adobe Audition during the break and stuff, and we just make it sound seamless.
a lot. That's done a lot and has been done a lot.
Still done.
Where people don't. And technically, it is live because very little editing is done, but it's all to catch bad words and edit them out.
Well,
But,
a lot of it now.
There's so much extra work not to just have a delay.
Not to break people's balls, though, but now a lot of it, like our buddy Brian Grimes, he's a syndicated host, right, for iHeart.
Yeah, yeah.
So he can record his phone calls for the show he's on, and run that show and be a part of it, but also be streamlining and recording the stuff he's going to use later in the day at the same time. So he can get all of his work done and then literally broadcast all day, and he just pre-recorded all of it.
So,
I would do overnights, and like we would have our own files. I would bank my own phone calls because you would get like a lot of young kids that would call in and they would request a song, and I'm like, we just played that, but I'll get it on for you later. And I knew I would have an upcoming song, and I'd be like, I'll play that song for you, but can you just request this song that's coming up?
Yeah, you just manipulate it. You're
Yeah,
just like,
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
can you play Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill? Or, or You Ought to Know, or whatever.
Just stuff like that.
Tuttle, I know we've talked to you about this before. I can't remember, and if I can't remember, our listeners can't. But
And that's a Tom Van guarantee. If you can't remember, I can't remember.
but in the '90s, you could just show up to a radio station and ask them, like, "Hey, let me just work for free." Like
That's what I did.
When I came up and interned, you had to like be earning some sort of college credit because it was like they were getting sued by people because they were just working for free, and it's like you can't do this as a business. Like they have to be earning some sort of credit because there's minimum wage laws. You can't just work for some company for free.
Oh.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was working for free for about a year and a half, 2 years, and that got stopped because Drew Garabo had an intern said that Drew hit him in the balls with a cheese quesadilla from Moe's.
Wait, hold on. I've never heard this story. You got to rewind just a split second. So you are working. Where are you working when this when the
I'm
infamous
working-
cheese quesadilla to the balls happens?
Yeah, I had just started. I think maybe it was answering phone calls on the show, and it was right before I became Drew's producer at night. And it was nothing, but this kid could not get on the air, and he just wanted to like go after her. And like Drew, tossed him a cheese quesadilla, but it just happened to hit him in the ball sack. And
And that would mean that the cheese quesadilla, if it were from Taco Bell, very new item at the time. Little heftier than they are now. They run them
And then
leaner
they were
now.
like, nope, you can't. You got to be getting college credit now. Just because of one quesadilla.
God damn quesadilla.
It is kind of hard for me to believe that a radio show host accidentally hit an intern in the balls.
No, Drew, if I know Drew, and I do,
Yeah.
I think he was aiming for the balls. And I think maybe he'd even say, he would even say, he's a different man now. He's a different guy now.
Yeah.
He's a different animal.
Well, this is the 90s.
But at that time, I think I could confidently, and I think Tuttle will even vouch for me,
Yeah.
I could confidently say he was throwing for the balls. 100. Especially if that intern was annoying and weak.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, he was. But can we get back to the face sitting thing?
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
So
please.
keep describing
Yeah.
as detailed as possible.
No,
again,
I-
FCC friendly.
So your
Yeah,
hands,
gotta be TR.
your ankles,
gotta be TR friendly.
your ankles are tied. Your hands are behind your back, and then what does she do?
It pushed me back where my head was like laying on the chair or whatever, because once you're tied up like that, you really can't move around and stuff. And
you can't
know,
push people off either, so there's a chance that you can get that moment where you go to take a gulp and you take a big old gulp of just dead body air, like just you take a big gulp of,
and then she slid it to the side.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? That move is not done anymore. In 2026, girls go straight down. There's no side in it. There's no
Use
side.
the side as fast.
Yeah, use the side.
Yeah, and
Wait, that's our shirt. Tom and Dan, use the side. Hey, ladies, use the side.
But so
You know why they don't use the
after-
side? Lips are bigger.
Oh, come on.
You can say that. What am I talking about? I'm talking about a mask.
Yeah, which one?
Yeah.
But and then a week after that, this girl, like, she knew that I was a virgin, and this is the chick that I lost my virginity to. And
You lost your
we
virginity to a dominatrix?
No, it was another woman that was in love with me.
Wasn't it like an
and
old, unfortunate woman that had a mental problem?
No. We did a amateur strip contest. This is when Bo was there, because that was towards the end.
I was
of
telling
Ron
Tom
Fest.
about this, that Bo the Big Man Rhodes had a short stint as the morning show on The Crow. It was
Okay.
during the infamous Storm the Beach days.
Okay, all right. It's all coming
Bo
together.
Road and the Misfits.
Bo Rhodes and the Misfits, yeah.
Who were the
Yeah.
Misfits?
Me and the program director that just came
I
back
think
from
Gomer was there for a
suspension.
hot second. You remember Gomer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
SBK Live.
Dave Despain, who was our program director, got suspended because he was smoking a blunt on a casino cruise ship that was sponsored by the show, and he was a bigger alcoholic than Bo was at the time. And it's so
I love old radio
I love
stories.
Bo to death, man, but like there were times I'd come in and he'd be sleeping on the couch in the green room, face all scratched up and everything, and I'm like,
When
"What
you
hap-
drink hard, you get a scratched up face. That's the way it
what
rolls.
happened?" He was like, "I hit a bunch of Bob's barricades on the way here."
Sometimes you
One
do.
through the windshield.
Sometimes driving to work, you go through 9 Bob's barricades.
Scratches your face.
He scratch you, but you have your head out the window driving, you idiot. Everybody knows if you're going to drive drunk and you're hitting barricades, your head is out the window to keep you
God.
sober enough to get there.
Man, Tuttle, people don't realize like the type of people they let on the radio.
Our animals, they're creature people.
And
is
then,
the
like,
lowest
he
form of
did.
entertainment.
I mean, he wanted to storm the beach out of Miss Monster in a
did.
diamond formation, too. Like,
He was going to take over the event with force. I like that. I thought that is the greatest idea he ever had.
So Tuttle, when you went in to radio, because this is going to morph into what the hell do people do now? Because all that is gone. Like all that intern stuff.
Well, maybe
it's
it
all
is.
gone.
Does Bubba the Love Sponge still dip his toe? Because you're in that world and you go on Bubba's show once a week. Does he still have any interns or anybody that's free labor?
Yeah, he does, but he doesn't work for a big company, so
you can
like,
do it,
he-
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
he
why
can
don't we
really-
have a bunch of like hot
'Cause
girls
Tom-
walking around here and we're like yelling at them?
Well, because there's no interns, there's nobody looking to intern. If that makes sense, it's like that concept is out the window.
Yeah.
Like we even had, we had a couple of video guys and like immediately the whole working for free is not something that's in anybody's mind. It's like I'll do it for minimum wage or for something. And that's fine too. Like underpaying people is fine if you pay them something. But the whole, Tuttle working for 2 years for free. I interned for 1 whole year and it was like almost full-time hours. And
Yeah, I
like
think I did
completely
too. Yeah.
nothing. And then like I forged documents so that it like pretended to get intern credit just so I could stay there, but I wasn't getting nothing. Because
Yeah, I feel that.
the fame was dangled in front of you. It's not even like some is done on purpose, but it's how people got discovered and ended up in radio because all the hosts usually or anybody that was doing
the chat room's asking about our intern and that it didn't work out.
Didn't you run off a couple of them, Tom?
No,
well, Tom always got handsy with him a little bit.
no.
They called him. They called him I Heart Billy Bush.
But it's not an intern if you're paying someone. You know what I'm saying? It's not. That means I'm paying someone, underpaying someone. Like like back in the day, it was like you worked damn near full-time hours.
You did
nothing for zero.
Oh, I did a lot. Like I remember for Ed when I was at Tilson.
Or they throw you drugs, or like you get things from listeners.
Marijuana, set of headphones. I mean, stuff that I guess. But okay, so how did you end up with Ron and Fez? You just went down there and asked to work for them because that's a pretty big show to start with.
Yeah, their intern got caught doing certain mischievous things and was taking advantage of sponsors. They ran them off.
Wait, that's what you did. You did all of that.
Well, everybody does it. The radio people do it.
You just can't get caught.
Yeah. If you just get caught, then.
Well, at the time, I just went down there and I told them that I just wanted to meet them. I didn't even think I was going to become an intern, and they just ended up bringing me in. I mean. I got named after another guy they messed with, Tim Tuttle, but his name was 2T, so they called me Tuttle because they messed with him. I think at the time we actually named one of our other interns that came in after me, Defoe.
Okay, I remember that name.
Yeah, I liked in radio. We never got a chance to do this because we've been more podcasters than we have radio guys, which is a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
But I always thought it would be fun to have an intern that you mistreat and hate, and then when he leaves, name the next intern the same name and keep doing what you're doing. I always wanted to do that, and I never got a chance
like it's Barbara Streisand's dog. It was just the same thing. It's like a same, all the same.
And that's what Ron Bennington and Fez did to you. They were just like, we don't want to stop this Tim Tuttle bit. We need a new Tuttle.
Yeah, and when I first came on the Monsters, they did a whole hour about what we should name the new intern. Should we keep a Tuttle or not? And I know I can't say this on the radio, but Daniel, wanted to call me
just clean it up.
J-Face.
Oh, J-Face for the stuff? Okay,
yeah.
It took me a minute to get that. I was like, J-Face.
Do you know you're still in my phone? You are J-Face.
Hold on, but did he actually say it back then? Because there were certain...
no, we did say it on the air.
Yeah. There are certain things that you used to be able to say.
Wait a minute, you can't say jizz?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I think you can.
Tuttle knows more about radio than I do.
You just don't want to say it 25 times.
Oh, okay. All right. But you're allowed to say it once.
I think you can say it.
My favorite intern name
it's
of
the
all
J
time.
Rule.
Fatty Gookus was my favorite.
Fatty Gookus. I had one. I had an intern. His name was Lumpy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty standard. And Lumpy, the best part about Lumpy is he lied to me. And this was the end of, this is how we unraveled. He lied to me by telling me that he did all, this is what he told me one afternoon. And I'm like, well, I got to fire you now. He's like, yeah, we're just sitting there. I'm just typing a relatively new email. I'm like, the new thing is email. I'm writing it. And he turns to me, he goes, I put in all the fiber optics in the Pentagon. And I'm like, well, I have to fire you now. That's a lie. You did not. You know you did not. You never did that. But he did. He told me he put all the fiber optics in the Pentagon. That's what he told me one day. I go to Russ at the time. Like, I have to fire this guy. This guy's gonna kill me. He's a psychopath. That's a true story. I don't know if I've ever told that. But he goes. He just turns to me and says, "Yeah, I did. I was up in the roof. I was up in the ceiling. I did all the fiber optics in the Pentagon. I didn't even know what fiber optics were at the time. I'm like, you have to go. You have to be fired.
Yeah. There's no way. First,
you have to be fired.
The fact that you're here answering phones for this Podunk radio show tells me you're lying.
You want another one he gave me?
That's like a homeless person telling me they put fiber optics in the Pentagon. You're crazy.
You want another weird one? Yeah. These are two. They're burned in my brain because they're so ridiculous. He also said, hey, anytime you want, if you want tickets or if you want him on the show, I know Marshall Tucker, the Marshall Tucker Band. I'm like, no, you don't. You have to be. I'm firing you for the Pentagon thing, but the Marshall Tucker Band thing is even more of a lie, and you're double fired. He didn't know Marshall Tucker Band. It's a psychopath. It goes back to you talking about radio people. It attracts some interesting guys.
Yeah. I saw the last bastion of radio interns.
Oh, you got it good, dude. I'm so glad that you got in when you did. And Tuds too. Tuds literally lived. That's why I think, Tuttle, I really do wish. I'm not blowing smoke when I say how much I love your stories, because I do think if you compiled them into a book and actually wrote what really happened in graphic detail, people would be reading it.
Okay, you know
Okay,
what? Oh, go ahead, Tom.
Oof. I don't want to name. I will not name the person. But
I will guess who it is.
maybe,
So go ahead.
maybe there was a rolling party, not marijuana.
Okay,
but,
easy.
you know,
Yeah, I know where you're
yeah.
going.
Oh, God.
I know what road you're driving down. I know what road you're. I know whose driveway you're
Come
in.
on, all right.
Yeah, or, and it was just very uncomfortable, and this person was not welcome, but kind of crashed the party and thought it would be cool to see how much weight he could bench at the party
Naked.
while everybody was rolling.
But he's naked.
Yeah.
He was.
I think the story's been told on the radio.
Yeah.
It was
I
all
think that
over.
one's been told. Yeah, that one's been aired. Yeah.
Okay.
It's funny because if you're a broadcaster long enough, and you've told so many stories, you
forget.
First you forget. That's easy.
But you know what you do when you forget it? You got to change it. You got to change the story.
Hey, but then you're like, I will never say this on the air. Like, you said this 10 years ago. You're like, what? Because your idea of your morality changed, and you've been on the air for so long.
Oh, mine slides daily.
That you're like, I could never tell people this. Like, you said this 15 years ago. Like, oh my God, I did. I have a video, like, the recording. You know what's good about radio is, in Tuttle, I don't know if you think about this sometimes, although you got more of it than I did, is that we were so early in radio that a lot of the crazy, dumb stuff, embarrassing stuff we did isn't even on the internet.
Luckily.
Like,
Yeah.
like there was stuff that we did that there was no smartphone, there were no video camera, no one had a video camera in their
wasn't a
pocket.
thing, yeah.
So the getting video of it, and it was back in the day too, where you could lie and create theater of the mind. Like, I did that a bunch of times. Where I,
what's the difference between you and Tuttle is he never did.
No, I know. Tuttle never. He never wanted to fake it.
Is that because you're an old timer? Like, why? Yeah. Like, because if they're like, take your pants down, you could just pretend like it because it's audio only. But you're like, nope, taking my pants off.
Yeah. He did that with me and Tiffany one time.
And he
We were
shot
at
the world.
Yeah, that was at the
nudist resort,
camp, right?
Yeah.
I thought we were doing everything for real there,
and
man.
you pulled that Hogzilla.
We were standing at the nudist camp. Like, you know what's weird about? Okay.
Also, that's horrible sexual harassment to Tiffany, right? Like, she's standing there and you're like, gotta get nude, no way out of it.
He took it. He just
I like
showed
that.
it. Tiffany looked at it. I saw her.
Oh yeah, she's horny. Come on, she's a red-blooded American businesswoman.
What about
she
the
knows her
time
way around it?
What about the time that it was a real big deal when they made me recreate the that Janet Jackson picture? Where she's got somebody else's hands over her.
Well, that one I don't like to talk about. That made her mom and dad mad. That was more of a family disrespect.
My God, how could, like, the stuff that $1 billion corporation, like, Tuttle's laughing because he
knows.
You talk to old radio guys and the stuff that you'd get away with. I mean, this is $1 billion corporation. Like, you're taking a tremendous chance doing any of this stuff that the person, like, and this is how shows get off air and get fired.
But only if they get off air and get fired.
Yeah. Because, like,
because the majority of them are fine.
Yeah, no, I know. But every once in a while, someone drank too much water and dies, or like,
well, that did not hurt that woman.
If
the lady that died, yes, it did. But the broadcaster that was a part of that went on to work for Apple Music.
If Tiffany got a lawyer and sued everybody for sexual harassment, the whole show would be fired and everybody would be gone because there would be so much evidence.
Not me, I quit.
There'd be so much.
I had nothing to lose.
This is all video on camera. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so easy for a lawyer to be like, look, here's a proof.
But I don't even think the culture was in that. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, even lawyers at the time were not getting cases like that because nobody was conditioned to be like, stop this.
Yeah. It was the last
what
bastion of it. It was the very ending where, yes, no one looked at it as wrong.
It's almost like what Cowboys had to deal with.
The bosses were listening,
Right, but it's almost like what Cowboys had to deal with when they started seeing automobiles.
Yeah.
You know, like, whoa, they're still on their horse, and you see the future coming, and you know you only have a little more time with your horse.
So Tuttle.
Now, There were two other ones that could have been fallen under Me Too, though. Like that first breast augmentation contest that we gave away at the Hard Rock Live.
No, I still
Remember when
enjoyed that one because we gave it to two 18-year-old twins.
Yeah.
I was in college.
And they looked like they were like no BS. They looked as if they were
had to check
14 years
everything.
old. It was wild.
That
dude.
was the first.
That was a wild one.
That was the first time I went to a website to look at a picture.
Yeah, because you're so horny. What does that say about you?
I didn't have a computer. I went to UCF.
You went to the library.
I went to a library.
Like a homeless man. I need some porno, dog.
No. They had computer labs that were open
How
to
did
students.
you not let people see you being horny?
No, that was open. There was some nerd next to me, like doing his
And you
homework.
went there, you smell like cigarettes, just look at her going, I'm horny. I want to see these twins are getting their boobs done.
Yeah, I went to UCF Computer Lab. I went on realradio.fm. It was back when all shows, like, each individual
It
show.
was probably realradio.com then.
Okay,
because
yeah.
we went through a
.cc?
or
Yeah.
.cc. We went through a weird narrative where they're like, now it's .fm because that'll be cool.
It was the beginning
Stupid.
of the internet where each show didn't have an individual website. It was just a radio station, and they just put up like pictures up on like the front, like an old
Put
school.
a picture of Daniel standing in front of beepers and phones with 12 Hungry Howie's pizzas.
Where you just had to scroll down, and they're just like, it was like an old Reddit forum where it was just like, I'm just gonna post a picture and then put some text underneath.
And you
it.
were like, oh, look at those twins. They're getting a boob job. Oh, my.
Now,
I'm going to be an intern one day, and I'm going to sleep with it, or maybe they'll sit on my face.
that Latino girl that came in and played with the beads.
Can't talk about that. You know, that's still one of the grossest things I've ever been a part
I've
of.
ever
Yeah,
seen.
that's one of the grossest things I've ever been a part of. Jeff Howell can't talk about that or he'll throw up. Because he was next to it. Like, if you ever bring it up around Jeff, I have to go, like, Jeff, we can't talk about it because he starts freaking out.
Nobody would think about the time too.
I don't even want to
Think
tell
about
my
this.
daughter I was even anywhere near the building.
It was so early on where like there was no social media and the internet was just new, like where people thought that they would have like no one would know who they are if they're on the radio. You know what I'm saying? Because there was
You're right.
You would
there
do
was no streaming and there were no cameras
yes,
in there.
you would do crazy things. It would just be your
It
voice.
was audio only. It was truly audio only.
And people they felt some safety doing absurd things.
Well, it was just your voice.
Yes,
So if
yeah.
you were the two twins up there for the breast augmentation and you had the gimmick was, and I'm not proud of it, the gimmick was you'd reveal your boobs so let's see what you're working with now and see what you're going to get to. And then they take their tops off. Nobody's seeing it. Only these 6 fat guys are seeing it.
Yeah.
You're fine.
But then it's weird because the beginning of the internet too, they'd be like, all right, I'll take a picture. Who's going to see that? Because no one even knew.
Well, you didn't know what it was. You didn't understand it.
Yeah, and no one was even going to look at it except for young Tom Van who's in college.
Yeah, horny guy at the UCF library.
Do you want to know the other thing? And they were way ahead of their time when they had that web board. Man, was the beginning of internet hate.
Yeah,
in
you're right.
general.
Yeah.
It should have taught us a lot more.
That was the first social media interaction with, like,
and guess what?
radio people.
It
Kinda.
was exactly the same as it is right now. Nothing has changed. You'd have mostly good people, and then you'd have people that do like to get on
Troll.
there and just disrupt. They just like to troll it out.
Who was the guy, the main Darth, the
He
main
passed away
troll?
a couple years ago, or
But
like 10 years ago.
He was known on the web board for being like a troll and a hate.
Very nasty person.
But it was the beginning, like, we didn't
But then you
understand
made him
it.
in real life a very nice person.
Yes, and like all trolls, really. And it was the beginning of internet trolls and that web board, and it's so weird to go through it because like early 2000s, you're like, what is this?
Oh,
Why is
he
this
went
person?
off on me, talked about how unfunny I was and how terrible I was and all these horrible things he said about me, and I was standing at a bar that Jim Colbert was appearing at.
Yeah.
And I'd just gone by there to support Jimmy and roll through to get a beer. Tuttle may have been there. And then
Yeah.
by a tree, there was a guy. And he like beckons me to come over. I walk over to the tree. The guy shakes my hand. He goes, "Hey, I'm Darth. I just wanted to meet you. I love what you do." Don't take. I'm just messing around. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm playing a character.
Super nice guy. I buy him a beer. We drink a beer. We talk a little bit.
Yeah.
No big deal. And then he goes back the next day just as mean as he's ever been.
Yeah, and that's when you kind of realize, like, oh, this is an act, kind of. He's portraying this character on the internet that's not really
He has
himself.
a different relationship with the internet than I
Yeah,
do.
and then it was like the beginning of like understanding. Oh, people have different personalities on the internet, and like super interesting. But so total right now, and it's kind of back because you mentioned it. A lot of people don't work for giant corporations, so you can, like, for us, we can get an intern, and they're not going to sue us for lack of hours or whatever the hell. Like, you only are worried about getting sued if you have a ton of money. So the smaller you are, the more lawsuit resistant you are. So we could do it, but it doesn't really exist anymore like it did. So, like, if you were going to, because radio obviously is still a thing, there's still radio stations, it's still happening. How do do young people get into radio nowadays without that? Because that was the only path back when and you too.
Intern
everybody.
was the only way.
Well, you had that. What was it? Those schools that were out there. Who was the Thanks Fans
CSB.
guy?
Oh
remember?
yeah, the technical radio schools.
Most of those are gone just because radio is just not a thing. And I'm surprised that they didn't pivot. They could still be around, but did they pivot to like showing people how to podcast? Because, right, that's what you would naturally think, like a CSB. Are they even around anymore?
Well, there's still value, and it's funny too because me and Daniel talked about like radio is more rare than podcasts, and it's a form of media that is interesting and unique now because it is live. And,
yeah, they're still around.
And it's done the same way it was done 20 years ago. And the fact that
they call it broadcast media now. They don't call it radio.
And obviously you need the reps to host a radio show. You need to fill time and all this. You need the talent to be able to do it. But because it's live, even though we have streaming, but it's live under the rules of the government, which is weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very unique now comparative to what the reality is.
Well, the streaming rules typically what we deal with apply to platform of stream, right? So Twitch, YouTube.
Yeah, which are actually harsher visually
they can be
than terrestrial radio.
A lot harsher.
Except for the words. Terrestrial radio, you could do basically anything except for the words. And in streaming, there are lots of no-nos. I mean, we almost
Twitch is the worst.
Well, the
sometimes
beauty of radio is, and this makes sense because it's old technology, it has no centered automation.
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
Yeah.
It's all human. I've never thought about this. It is all human automation. So it does win in that category because you're more apt to let things fly because we get things censored in our YouTube. Anything that gets censored in our YouTube channel is never about our content. It's usually something got misheard.
Yes,
and
it's a mistake.
It's a mistake.
By a bot.
Yep.
So it's
Do you ever get copywritten, like, strikes?
We get a weird one where now we get, because we're like a medium grade channel where we're growing. We have healthy growth, but we're not a huge channel. We get guys that will copyright us, claim that anything we do AI is theirs. We get that, which is very interesting.
Really?
And then SJ has to go in and fight it and say like, no, that's ours. That's original to us. But it's almost like a weirder patent troll, like a different. They'll go in. I think they
throwing
are
a mass net, and be like, "This is ours," and then just to see, maybe one person will say, "Oh, it is yours."
Well, most of the time you don't see it. Most of the time you don't see
trolls.
it. So they've already claimed that it's theirs, so they're getting the money.
Yeah.
Because they claim it as theirs, and you don't even notice it's that they claimed it.
Okay.
A lot of Bubba's copyrights that he gets struck on, like on YouTube and stuff, are like from the haters.
Oh yeah. That was another thing in radio where. Do you see that, or does Bubba see it as much? Because I always find that weird now, especially like in 2026, that radio still has the perception of competition in the market, and I understand that's the reality.
Oh, you mean like all morning shows are competing? We hate each other and we're going after each other.
Oh
and
yeah,
it's dog eat dog.
There's like I'm competing with this other radio station that's playing at the same time, which is always been weird, like as the internet gets more and more popular, where it's just like, well, you're competing against everything that's on a smartphone, which is infinity.
Yeah.
You know,
and they
like,
can access it whenever they'd like.
but they're like, no, we're only competing. And then now it kind of almost makes more sense now than it did 5 years ago, because now they are really competing, because there's nothing like live terrestrial radio that, like a podcast, like you're not competing with Joe Rogan technically, because anybody that's listening to podcasts
Different vibe.
is different. You know what I'm saying?
Completely different
But
animal.
I guess you are competing with other radio slots in that same time.
Yeah.
Although I never, because to me, once someone found the radio station they liked, they very rarely switched around. You know what I'm saying? Like the
Tampa's different.
Is it?
Tampa's a whole different animal, man. Like they love to play for real. Like they want blood.
And they're switching. Like, but this is the thing. Like, if you liked one particular morning show, it feels like you wouldn't switch to any other morning. You're like, let me check. You're used to that.
So kind of what you're saying is the
personality?
fight that they're fighting is antiquated and maybe not even real anymore because of people's listening habits. This is your argument. I kind of agree with you. No, I see what you're saying. I'm just trying to like kind of reiterate it. I think I see what you're saying. It's like once I'm listening in Tampa, and this is just an example, and I like listen to Bubba the Love Sponge, so he's my guy. I'm never gonna vary from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. That's my guy, and I'll never vary from that.
It's odd that you just like, oh, let me switch and see what other shows are like. It's like you're just used to that one. I don't know.
We would have the shows would have interns to listen to the other shows to see if there was anything questionable that you could turn in on the other person.
Yep, no, that's.
I still do that with any show.
That's the reason we got basically told to stop doing the podcast, is because of that reason. They're
Correct.
like, you're opening yourself up to our competitors taking this audio and using it against us.
Well, we did have someone complain, and they got us into trouble, and then the rest is history.
Yeah. It was, but it was not real.
It
was
wasn't
just, it was like someone using it against us. But it's so weird because it's not real. But
funny,
it is real.
No, I don't think it would work now. So if you go back to when we were, started doing it, and you rewind to, let's say 2011, 2012, if we were in 2025, 2026, I don't think that like we took the audio and I don't think that's a thing.
No,
I don't think that.
But maybe like Tuttle's saying it still happens in Tampa. Like
it does.
They still and who are the big players still there? You got Mike Calta, you got Bubba, you got
MJ's back on in the
Is
mornings
he back
now.
on?
Yeah. So he's the one that sued Bubba for like a couple $1 million.
How old is that guy though now? Like MJ's got to be in his 60s, right?
Yeah, well, he was for a while doing two shows. He would do the MJ morning show, which was like the morning zoo type, and then he would do like a Jim Phillips type show called the Todd Snit Show. 3 to 7.
Huh. So
wait, he goes by MJ, but his name
MJ is a made-up name. Todd Snit is his real name.
No, I can't do any of that. So wait, so his name is Todd Schnitt, and he's like, but call me MJ. No, I will not do that because your name is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Like I would tell it to his face. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You are a moron.
And then he said that he couldn't like go out in public because Bubba Army people would try to pull on his hair because Bubba said it looked like he had a pubic wig on.
Does he have a pubic wig?
If you look at his hair,
does he have a system?
You'd be, yeah.
No, who has the system? Does MJ have the system, or does Todd Schnitt have the system, or does MJ have the system? I want to talk about his system.
But like he'd be at dinner like at like a seafood restaurant right on the beach in Tampa Bay, and people would come up and call him pubic hair.
Hey, pubig! Let me talk
at a different time. So Tuttle, we gotta go. Where can people find you? What do you want to plug?
You can follow me on all social media. Just search Tuttle. That's Tuttle with 2 D's, Tuddle. And you can listen to all my podcasts and content. Just search youtube.com, The Bubba Army.
There you
All right,
go.
Tuttle.
You're still doing a show with your ex-wife?
Yeah, I'm actually doing a third show now with Seth Kushner. So, like, I've been doing that show with him, and then I do the one with Colton.
Yeah,
and
Seth
then
Kushner is Bubba's producer.
Producer and co-host,
Yeah,
yes.
there you go.
Well, thanks for coming on with us today, Tuttle.
We love you, buddy.
All right, love you guys. Hopefully this was okay.
Oh, dude, it's always fantastic. You're great. Hey,
I'm gonna text you in like 5 minutes just to ask.
don't do that.
I don't know.
I'm not gonna reply this time. If you say, "Hey, was that okay?" I'm not saying a word.
Listen, I don't know if anybody else likes it, but it makes me laugh talking old radio songs with you.
I love it.
I could do it all the time.
If anything, we got Tuttle's origin story. I never knew how he got into radio, and now I do. Take care, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. See ya.
All right,
See ya.
man. Later.
All right, and we will see you next week.
Great. That was great.
And that, I'll give you the date. That is Friday.
Okay.
Friday, March 20th. Friday, 3:20.
320. Audio. Is that it for today?
Yep, that's it.
And the one we did was Friday night, right?
And Friday night with
the
Jason
Science
and
Center?
Larry.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. This is a new folder. We just got to do an intro. Create Friday 1 and 2 raw. 3, 20, 26, 47 min. Split. Okay. Guys, thanks for hanging out with us today. This is a lot of fun. Really silly shit. So we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. We have a big Friday free show. We've already got a bunch of stuff on the list, and we have Amy LaCours coming in. So she's always funny because she's good energy, and her